Stained glass artist Julie Laframboise has put me to work this morning here at her studio in Clarence, Rockland. Is this what we're hoping the finished product will look something like?
We're hoping.
Okay, yes, yes. You saw my glass cutting skills. It might not go as planned. But what is the setup that you've got here?
Well, I did a very similar project here, and this is what we do in our beginner class here at the studio. And I've prepared all the pieces for you, and what we're going to start doing is a little bit of soldering. So what we're going to apply here is some flux to make sure that all your pieces are tacked together. And before we start soldering, we want to make sure that everything is nice and centered so that it looks good. I'm going to show you how to do one line, and then you can do another one, the second line.
Okay, but if I destroy this, you won't hold it against me, right?
No, it's fixable.
Okay, very good, as long as everything is reversible.
Okay, so we're gonna put up the HEPA filter to make sure that the fume doesn't go in our face. And what we're gonna do is first you gotta bring down your iron and hold the solder very close to the line and just melt the, oh, see here, it moved a bit, so we're going to reposition it.
Okay. So what is this that you're melting?
It's solder.
Solder, okay. How hot is that iron to be able to just liquefy
About
it like
800 degrees.
All right, so let's keep fingers away from there.
And then you can go and retouch it if you'd like. So what I want you to do is do the same thing. So go ahead.
All right,
pull this out for you.
800.
And take your time. What's important is that you take your time and don't go too fast.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to touch the foil came with the knife. Not the knife, the iron, I should say.
Okay.
There you go. Slower. Don't be afraid to touch it.
Okay.
Bring it down. That's it. There you go. Perfect.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Well, what would you do differently?
I would probably turn my iron on the side.
Turn it?
And then just go and retouch.
Okay, over the same line?
You don't need to add more solder. You can just play around with the solder that you have and just bring it down.
Boy, you need a steady hand for this. Look at me shaking.
Okay, good. That's perfect.
Okay.
That's beautiful. So then you can do another one if you'd like.
One more, you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I continue to solder. Let's talk about the different classes that you offer.
Sure. As I mentioned before, this is the beginner class. We do a little sun catcher. And it's about a 2-hour class, and people can see if they like it or not. I have an intermediate class, which we do a bigger piece. It's about 20 pieces. I also do a mosaic, and we do collages of glass on glass with old windows. So those are the few classes that I give.
How many people do you have in each class?
About 4.
Okay, so it's very personalized.
It's very personalized, and also if people rather have private lessons, then I'll teach private lessons as well.
Okay, so it's one-on-one.
It's one-on-one, and depending on the flexibility of when the people are available.
Okay, so if you are shaky with the hands and a little nervous like me, it might be best to go one-on-one.
Yeah.
A little bit later in the morning, I'd love to talk to you about the difference between glass blowing, which is what I've been introduced to in the past, and glass fusion, which is what we're doing here at the Concept Art Studio. So stay with us. We'll have Julie explain it all a little bit later on CTV Morning Live.